Hello viewers, Super GT here. How are we all doing today? Let me try and entertain you for 20, 21 minutes, whatever it may be, with this. Rally cars at Brands Hatch. A very interesting mix. You don't often drive rally cars in this game, and you certainly don't normally drive them on a tarmac circuit. So let's see how we do. Now, everyone is driving the Peugeot. Everyone's gone for the same car. It's basically a one-make race. No one's gone for anything different. Now here, this is qualifying. I'm going to try and settle into a good position. I wasn't convinced by that guy. He went a little bit wide, and I thought, well, I need to get behind someone who looks fairly good. And we got into the middle of this little train here. Now, for this race and for qualifying, the slipstream was on weak, which is basically the worst possible way to describe it, because it is in no way weak. It's like totally overpowered. Even the weakest setting on slipstream isn't weak, it's actually realistic, and even on realistic it's too strong. And then on weak it's stronger than that, and then on strong it's stronger than weak, which is strong in itself. Hope you understood that, or I might have just tied your brain in a knot there, sorry. Okay, this is my qualifying lap, so we've got ourselves into a nice bit of space here in the slipstream. So let's see if we can get a decent lap. And it's always going to be qualifying, which helps you massively in these races. You don't have much time to do it. We've only got 5 minutes, which is only enough time to do 2 flying laps. And one of the key details for this is that it's a grid start. Yes, that's right, 20 cars within the space of about where 5 cars can fit. So turn 1's going to be really an absolute mess, I think is the fair way to describe it. Well, at least that's what I'm predicting. It might actually be the hairpin of turn 2 of Druids at the top of the hill. That's going to be where the real chaos Shadow Realm portal opens up. But that means we obviously don't want to be qualifying in the middle. The back is probably better to qualify than the middle. 20th is probably better than 12th, I'd say, because you're just such a high chance of getting murdered if you're in the middle. Okay, so final corner of this lap. Coming up the main straight then. Let's see what we have done. 32.0 or 31.9 best lap. We've crossed the line. 31.7. And then the guy behind goes a slightly bit quicker. 0.02 quicker. He goes on to pole. I'm in second. 1 lap later, can we improve on our time? The problem I had was on the second half of the lap, I just caught up to the back of this guy up ahead, and I couldn't quite go any quicker, and therefore our lap was 0.2 slower. So we're going to take the 31.7, and once everyone had finished their laps, it turned out to be second. So that first lap was actually good enough to secure us a position on the front row of the grid. So here we are then, 15 laps, 20 angry boys heading into turn 1 at Brands Hatch in a rally car on sports tyres. This probably isn't a good idea, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so here we are. On second place on the grid. Grid start, we've got to try and get that good launch off the line, of course, and just check that my controller's actually on. Yes, it is. Okay, set TCS onto 1, and the lights go out really quickly. Away from the line we go. I actually got a really good launch, initial launch, but then this guy, Jeremy, managed to get alongside. I managed to go around the outside though, get the better momentum. And then I'm going to sweep over to the right hand side just to defend the position and keep second. Into turn 2 then. There's a massive domino effect. Someone, I think Ronnie O'Sullivan, halfway through the pack, just playing a bit of snooker, smacks into the cue balls in the middle and plays a very tidy plant. So a couple of cars ending up in the pocket there of turn 2. Luckily for myself and Razbib here, we escaped the trouble. Let's have a flashback to look at this. Look at just massive knock-on effect. Ronnie O'Sullivan here in the middle, picking up some damage and a penalty, but it was a really good snooker attempt. Good cue action there as he swung back and hit the balls. And that is a sight you really do not want to see in your rearview mirror. Lo and behold, what's that, 10 people behind him, 11 people behind him, very angry people in close proximity. But thankfully, actually, they all get through as a big mumbling cluster, and he lives to fight another day. So Jeremy qualifying third, he was up my inside for second on the first corner, and then he gets punted back to outside the top 8. He's now in 7th at this point. We can maybe track his progress as a little side game in this video. So he did well there to, I suppose, recover a few positions, back into 7th for him. Meanwhile, up at the front here, myself and Razbib, we've done the good thing here, managed to pull away. We are out of the slipstream range now, I think. On realistic, it's about 1.5 seconds. On weak, I guess it's a little bit more than that, but I don't know exactly what the slipstream range is. I'm pretty sure I'm out of it here. 2.7 seconds away. In fact, make that 3 seconds now as they're fighting, it must be. If you look at the map, it's myself and the leader here, and then a gap, and then pretty much everyone else in one massive group. We can whip it forward to lap 7. Basically, for the first laps here, I just wanted to fuel save, and that meant that for the sort of second half of this race I can go really aggressive on fuel. So you can do a no stop in this race, but you had to save fuel a little bit. So basically all I did, sit in the slipstream of the guy ahead, save loads of fuel, which allowed me then just to go really aggressive in the second half of this race, which we are fast approaching now. The gap now up to 5 seconds up to third place, so it really is a 2-horse race. Now over the years of Gran Turismo Sport, I must have had, I could probably make my own playlist of races where I've had a really good 1v1 battle. There must be a good 6, 7, 8 maybe races where it's just been like honestly a really good battle start to finish. And this video could certainly be added to that playlist if that playlist were to exist, which it doesn't. But maybe I'll have to make it exist. And so for this first half of the race, it was quite clear that the leader was also fuel saving because he wasn't going that quick. But now, you see I'm revving out all the gears all the way to the end of the rev gauge. And before that we were only going maybe half, 60-70% of the rev gauge. We were definitely both saving at the start. But now it's clear that he wants to start getting a move on, and he started revving out all the gears, and I'm going to follow suit and do the same, just try to keep him his toe. And about this point I decided that I thought it's worth going for the move now. We're going to try, we've built enough of a gap, so I am going to go for it. It wasn't the cleanest moves, there was definitely contact there, and he managed to stay alongside, and coming down here into the left-hander of Graham Hill Bend, he just gets the inside line and retakes the position. So we have to go back to the drawing board here and think up another strategy to try to get past him, because on these tyres in these cars it's not easy to go for a clean move. You can easily slam it up the inside and just absolutely obliterate your opponent. It's very easy to do that because you have a much smaller amount of grip compared to like a Group 3 or 4 car, which you may be used to. So it is quite tricky to get a move done properly, but at the same time, who says you need to do it properly? As long as you don't get a penalty, isn't that the way it works now? Do a move, no penalty, then it's fair. By the game standard anyway. Who knows? Okay, so could have gone for a move there maybe, but that almost certainly would have ended it up in contact. So we're going to stay behind for now. Don't need to rush it, we've still got 7 laps to go after this one. 6-second gap though at this point. Fairly healthy lead we have, and it really was just a matter of making a breakaway. We're going to go for the move here. He doesn't defend it. I thought he would have done. Pulls over to the left hand side and go up the inside. Spot our braking point, and I get the car really sideways. I receive a tap in the rear end, and he's on my right hand side. So 2 attempts here, and I could barely keep the lead for more than a couple of seconds. So back into second. Once again, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. This drawing board is going to get very congested at this rate if I keep messing up these overtakes. So that one, an example of just braking too late and ferociously, and the car didn't really like it. It wanted to slide about, and we go back into second. Okay, so we're going to have to be a bit more careful here. I think through this part of the track here, it's just a matter of just staying behind, following, and then the best place to overtake would be turn 1 of Paddock Hill Bend, or turn 2, the hairpin at the top of the hill. So those 2 corners are where I'm kind of targeting the moves. and through here it's just a matter of survival. So easy in these cars on these tyres just to do one silly mistake, especially this bit here, right? You just dip your two wheels on the left and boom, you're saying hello to the grass for way too long. I know it's a rally car, it probably should be alright on the grass, but you still don't want to be there. He's going on the grass. You see that, it actually barely loses him any speed. It might actually be quicker just to cut the grass, turn into a lawnmower temporarily. It seems to be the quicker way. I do just want to say a quick note and say thank you to anyone who's had a look at the merch store. I have finally opened one in the description below. You can find a link, and of course just down below the video. There will be more designs coming very soon as the leader goes very wide. Are we going to be able to sneak up the inside here? He does open it up, and finally we can capitalise up the inside. Not going to let this one go, third time lucky. And okay, on lap 10 we finally got the job done. We move up into first place, and we have a third of the race left to go, or a little bit more than a third of the race left to go. And in a 1v1 battle, you're just trying to plan, like, when is the best time to get into the lead and start defending. You don't want to, you don't want to get into the lead and start defending on lap 2. It's just too early. You're going to have to defend for so long, and it's just probably not going to work. I think maybe about this point, 60-70% into the race, you can start defending, and you can actually make it work. And especially now that we've got quite a big lead, 5 seconds to the car in third. Just looking at Jeremy, he's made his way back to fourth. So he's done well actually, Jeremy. I think fair play to him. He would have been very annoyed to possibly be in second on the first corner, but then go all the way back down to, I don't know what it was, something like 10th or 9th. So he did well to recover and not get too mad. Well, he probably was mad, to be honest. I can't tell if he's mad or not, can I? There's no mad scale, mad meter on the screen, so I couldn't actually tell. He might be really calm, he might not mind at all. Who knows? I might have to message him. Okay, Raspberry looking for the inside. I cover the inside. I'm not going to let him pass. We're going to brake nice and early here. Meet the apex. And then we've defended the first corner, but you always have a second chance here. So I'm going to have to, again, go defensive. Looking at the radar, just making sure that he can't go up the inside. I go really deep. That's a warning. So don't do that again. Go really wide on the exit as well. And eventually we can reclaim our lead. And again, really close. Having one eye on the radar, one eye on the track. Somehow I can do that, sort of like a chameleon who can sort of point one eye in one direction and one eye the other. Quite cool. We remain in the lead once again. Look how close he is. I'm going to have to get off that fuel and put the radar on because he is fully on my left-hand side here, on the outside. So I can just keep the inside line. Good defence so far. Good, resolute defending. Textbook stuff, you could say. Expect to find this race in a textbook of racing techniques in your local bookstore very soon, because this is absolutely pinpoint stuff at the moment. Just one defensive move, go on the inside, wait for the opponent to move to the outside, and then you move to the outside as much as possible. But it's really just about making sure you're controlling your opponent's position, basically. So through the final corner, again, it's going to be really close. There's just nothing I can do to pull away because of the slipstream. There's just basically no chance unless he bins himself. Look at this. He's in the slipstream. I'm covering the inside. I'm covering the inside. This time he stays narrow in the rear view. And again, he's going to go for the perhaps move up the hill. He's quite close, so again, I'm going to defend it. He could always go for that move. We've seen earlier. I think it's quite hard to go for that move. If you're not already alongside on the brakes, then it's quite tough in these cars because of the lack of good quality tyres. But you just never know. He could just send it, go full send. Daniel Ricciardo, lick the stamp, just fully lick that stamp, and just well and truly send it. You never know. He might just do that. So cover your bases, cover it off, make sure it doesn't happen. And again, he's trying to go narrow. Eventually I feel the contact, and that gives me the signal to move over to the racing line. He's not going to go for the move. Through this section, I mean, it looks easy from here, right? He's just following me. But in the rearview mirror, I'm looking at the radar. I don't know how close he is. I don't know if he's going to go for the move. So there is a lot of pressure. You kind of really have to focus, and we've just lost a bit of focus there. Just dipping two wheels on the grass. We spoke about that earlier. how easy that is to do, just to make that mistake. He's on the grass again, giving the rally car, or getting the rally car onto its natural habitat, off of the tarmac and onto the grass. So that resolute defending has ended, but his defending not quite resolute enough. We're going to go up the inside here, into turn 1, on the brakes, look for that second board. We've done it. We have to park the car on the apex here, really park it. I know he's looking for the cutback, and there it is. He couldn't go through the cutback. Sensible defending, parking it on the apex like an absolute boss. Add that to your textbook. Okay, we're back into the lead. Lap 13. 2 3/4 laps left to go. This battle is hotting up, and oh boy, look in the background. Third place is right on us. This shows you how much time you lose to constant defending, constant fighting, going off of the racing line and overtaking each other over and over and over again. We were 6 seconds ahead, but now the guy in third is within. He's within slipstream range. He's within 2 seconds. So this gap has come right down, and this could become a 3-way battle, in which case I'll have to take it off of the 1v1 playlist, because it will be a 1v1v1, and that will no longer constitute a 1v1, I guess. Okay, through Sheen Curve, getting it a bit better through there that time. A little bit of grass on the exit, but we're okay. We live to fight another lap on the exit. He gets a really good exit out of this corner. You see, look how close he is. I'm going to defend this one, put it quite narrow, and he's going to have another run. I'm going to have to defend basically every corner. It's getting tougher and tougher and tougher as this race goes on, because I have noticed that my tyres are not in as good a condition as his. Once again, he goes to the outside, forcing to the outside, having a look at the radar, park it on the apex. We're ticking off the items here for a successful defence. He looks for the inside again. No, you're not having it, mate. Have the outside. There you go. You're not getting around the outside there. The only thing I can hope for here is that maybe the guy in third place is actually a blessing if you're in the lead, because it gives a distraction to this person. This person can't solely focus on attacking. He would then have to focus on defending his position of second as well. And so third place could help me out here, but we'll see if that does happen. On the exit of Surtees, down the back straight towards Hawthorne. Again, he's not quite close. No, he is very close, but to overtake at that corner without being alongside already, he's signing a death wish, essentially. So he thinks better of it, and rightly so, I must say. Now look how close he is. He's basically right under my monstrous rear wing. I've gone through Sheen really wide. I do need to abuse that corner a little bit more than that. You can really get your 2 wheels on the curb, 2 on the grass, and you're good to go. Third place getting ever closer towards the final corner of the penultimate lap. We don't have very long left to go. A bit of contact there. I'm having to brake a bit earlier than I'd like, as the tyres are basically dying of death at this point. Okay, here we go then, chaps. 1 more lap remaining. Stamping on the brakes, keeping it nice and narrow. No way you're coming through here, my friends. And again, over to the right hand side. Again, you're not having it, mate. You are not having the inside. But then there's contact, and I've been sent hurtling to the outside of the circuit, and I've been demoted to second. Okay, well, this race has just gone down the drain very quickly. It looked like my resolute defending has been undone by the simple love tap into Druid's Bend. And now it's me who has to worry about third place, who is swarming all over me. As we exit Surtees for the final time, the leader's actually got a bit of a gap there. Look at that, he's pulled out 0.6 of a second, and now I have to worry about his co-Frenchman, who's just behind me. I'm surrounded by the French players now, coming into the right hand of Westfield. He's looking really calm and composed. Look at his tyres, much better than mine. Much better. And Sheen Curve, could he make a mistake? It looks like he's gone very wide, very wide indeed, onto the grass almost. Just taps the grass. Is he going to make another mistake as he has worn out tyres, although mine are worse? Again, he's favouring that line onto the grass every time, and it seems to be working. I need to adapt my skills through that one. Into the final corner of the final lap. It's going to be a second. Or is it? Because we got the guy on our right hand side here. Look at the radar. He's right alongside me, up to the line. He's got the slipstream. And over the line we go. 0.03. Oh boy, very, very close. I just held on for second, which is where I started, but still a disappointing finish, I suppose, given that we were in the lead for quite a long time there. But ultimately, it was a really close and exciting battle, and when I looked at this race on the calendar, I thought, that's just going to be utter carnage. And I suppose it was if you were a bit further back, but for me it was actually pretty good. But there you go, guys. I hope you have been well and truly entertained. You probably are if you've stuck around this long. But that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.